The limited edition Royal Ghost Troop. Let's explain exactly how it works and how you should be using it inside of your attack strategies. Welcome back to the channel then, guys. I'm your host, Judo Sloth. The Halloween event is here, the Royal Ghost. It is incredible, my friends. This is the strategy I will show you at the end of the video, but for the Royal Ghost, it is a limited edition troop. So you can only use it during this event, but its special ability is the fact it is ignored by defenses and walls for 12 seconds. Invisible during that time. Now, looking at the stats, it does a huge amount of damage, 680, which is exactly the same, by the way, as a P.E.K.K.A. Just think about that. The P.E.K.K.A 25 housing space and the Royal Ghost being 8 housing space with 12 seconds of invisibility. You will see. It is pretty OP, my friends. You might have seen when I featured all of the limited edition troops in a video, but the thing about the Royal Ghost is it does only have 270 hit points, so it is vulnerable when you get to that stage. This is somewhat comparable to a wizard at 250, but the wizard does have the advantage of range, meaning it can be protected behind a golem. The Royal Ghost, you cannot do that. I am obviously going to show you mechanics of the Royal Ghost, exactly how I recommend using it, because we do have the Royal Smash, where you need to use 8 Royal Ghosts. Don't worry, my strategy uses plenty of them, but you will easily complete that challenge. We also have the Pumpkin Graveyard. I did a whole separate tutorial on that if you are struggling, and the Pumpkin Graveyard Scenery. We finally have a dark mode in Clash of Clans. Let's check out the shop, where we will have the Pumpkin Graveyard Scenery, and we also have a couple of special offers. Nothing too crazy at this point, although I always like some dark elixir. If you are purchasing any of these, remember you can actually just click the C in the shop now, and this will bring up the creator code menu. My code is Judo, and it is much appreciated, my friends. But let's go ahead and get the Pumpkin Graveyard Scenery so we can quickly show you what it looks like. Purchase successful. When you do have the scenery, it pops you straight to this menu, and you can indeed activate dark mode within Clash of Clans. I love the fact that everything has changed. Previously with the sceneries, it was only the outskirts of the base, whereas this one changes the look of the entire village. It almost looks like the builder base, doesn't it? But let's have a quick look around. We obviously have the giant pumpkin across to the right-hand side with the waterfall. Moving down to the bottom, it is the pumpkin graveyard, so they are absolutely everywhere. But look at the Barbarian King statue. Really like that, actually. We actually have a wizard scarecrow as well. That looks pretty cool, in fact. Across to the other side, we have the ghostly builder's boat and this other boat, which looks really cool. And remember, this is actually one of the Supercell make skins. So this was designed by a member of the community and put into the game. I really like this cave, whereby the Clan Castle troops would go there to be donated. But that is the scenery for you. And the other thing we have is a new obstacle. I was able to get footage of the developer build for you. The limited edition obstacle for Halloween is the Friendly Flower. I think it looks really cool. 25,000 elixir to remove, so let's do that for you so you see what is underneath. But I would always recommend you hold on to at least one of the limited edition obstacles. Here we go. Underneath the Friendly Flower, you will have 75,000 elixir. I think that is basically the same thing you get for every limited edition obstacle, but just so you know. Let's show you the mechanics of the Royal Ghost then. 12 seconds of invisibility, and yes, as the description said, as the invisibility is active, it can walk through walls, meaning you can snipe off defenses. Now, it actually attacks any building, not just defenses, but look at how quick it went down as soon as that invisibility had indeed wore off. It is quite cheap in terms of housing space though, meaning you can get buildings down pretty efficiently. And I would also like to point out that you might want to try and send multiple Royal Ghosts in, because then they work in conjunction and you could wipe out buildings extremely fast. Do take note though that the Royal Ghost is susceptible to traps, a giant bomb wiping it straight out. And you do have to take note of spring traps as well, that will fling the Royal Ghost off of the map. And even if you have two small bombs together, a Royal Ghost is history. Interestingly, the Royal Ghost will pop a hidden Tesla, but the hidden Tesla will not see the Royal Ghost, meaning it can wipe it straight out. You will not be able to use the Royal Ghost in the defending clan castle, but this is interesting. Sometimes we use sneaky goblins to snipe off a clan castle so that the troops don't necessarily come out. The exact same principle applies with the Royal Ghost. It can attack the clan castle, but if you only send in one, it might end up not taking it out in time and luring the troops. Picking up on that last point, just to reiterate, if you are sniping off buildings around the clan castle, you need to be careful because when the invisibility wears off, you will lure the troops. But even just two Royal Ghosts will take out the clan castle, so the troops aren't even lured. So as I said, the Royal Ghost is pretty strong. Versus the Town Hall, let's check this out. Now, you want to deploy it as close to the Town Hall as possible. If I deploy it right over here, that is probably 2 seconds of the invisibility that I have essentially wasted. So always bear that in mind when you're trying to pick off buildings, no matter what it is. Try to deploy the Royal Ghost as close to it as possible so you get as long as possible with the invisibility. However, you saw the health of the Town Hall. It was pretty much done. So 2 Royal Ghosts will be able to snipe the Town Hall so long as it can get direct access. But even if you need a couple of Royal Ghosts to pinpoint buildings first before getting to the Town Hall, it's still going to be worth it. This is one of my favorites for the Royal Ghost though, and I will show you this in a real attack at the end when I give you my recommendation, but the enemy heroes, in particular the Archer Queen, because whilst the Archer Queen does a lot of damage, she doesn't have a lot of health. So since the Royal Ghost has 12 seconds of invisibility, she's down. That is it. You can snipe the Archer Queen. Now, the Barbarian King, he has more health. So even though you have 12 seconds, the Barbarian King will not go down from a single Royal Ghost. And the Royal Ghost is very vulnerable. I mean, it needs to be after the 12 seconds wears off. So the Barbarian King will be able to take it out in one shot. But look at the health. It's still pretty low, meaning a second Royal Ghost, that's only 16 housing space, enough to take down the Barbarian King. Now, just so you can see, versus the Royal Champion as well, similar to the Queen, Royal Champion deals a lot of damage, but doesn't have as many hit points. So the Royal Ghost, able to one-shot the RC, any heroes to the edge of the base, just make sure you're picking them off with the Royal Ghost. One more thing I want you to be aware of before I show you my recommended strategy with the Royal Ghost. If you struggle with Goblin maps, maybe you're not at Town Hall 14, attack the Goblin maps whilst you have the Royal Ghost, because you will be able to wipe them out. Let me show you real quick versus the Dragon's Lair. Now, you do want to send some Barbarians around the map checking for traps. We know with my Goblin map speedruns that the Goblin maps are pretty trolly. Once you've done that, because the Royal Ghosts are susceptible to traps, you're basically sending one per defense. Now, to be honest, on this side of the base, when they are so clumped, you don't even need one per defense because look at how quick they go down. But you want to try and send them in to each building quick enough before the skeletons pop, because the skeletons will not see the Royal Ghost. But obviously, if the skeleton is already popped, then the Royal Ghost will go for it, not the building. Dragon is lured, but it has no clue that the lair is going down. It doesn't even get to attack. 3 stars, super easy. Let's show you some strategies then. Anything below Town Hall 10, I recommend the mass Royal Ghosts. Above that, I will show you, but you want to integrate bat spells. Okay, so for Town Hall 9, what you want to do is try and snipe off as many defenses as possible with the Royal Ghost. You do need to create a little bit of funneling, but it's not like when you're using the bats, where you need to take out the splash. So literally just look around the base and try and pick off any of the defenses towards the perimeter first. So you see the Archer Tower down. We see a couple of Archer Towers here, so we can actually use a few Royal Ghosts. And it's very similar to when you are using the baby dragon attack strategy, where you are trying to pick off any defenses towards the perimeter. This basically means that your heroes have less damage on them. I've only just noticed when I started attacking the Expos are indeed out of ammo, but as you will see, this strategy is so overpowering. Those Expos would not have done anything. So you have a golem to protect. I also like to take a golem in the clan castle. I'm not going to use it here to counteract the Expos being out of ammo. I do take a baby dragon to help with funneling. I've got a couple of extra wall breakers. Again, they are just in case I need them. Jump spell to get to the back end of the base, a rage for the heroes, and also a heal for the heroes. So I'm going to use them, even though, honestly speaking, they're not even needed at this stage. And let's just send the royal ghosts in around the outside of the base as the heroes are doing this. I would also save a rage spell for when your heroes get towards the enemy heroes and you want your own heroes to attack in towards the clan castle troops. That's the unfortunate thing about multiplayer. Doesn't look like there are any, so let's swag the poison and the freeze as well, which you would use on the clan castle troops and or enemy heroes. Let's actually just send a couple of royal ghosts in from the bottom, and as you can see, it's relatively straightforward. Use the royal ghosts on point defense, send some sort of tank in front of your heroes after you have created pathing and funneling with your own heroes. Obviously, if there was clan castle troops, you would poison them, you could use the freeze spell, and you could use your own clan castle golem in order to tank a little bit more. If you're not a Town Hall 9, if you're below that, you still use the mass royal ghosts. Pretty much the same principle as this. This is the army I like to use when we have the royal ghosts, then a mass army of them, a couple of troops in order to help the heroes with funneling and bat spells. I do need to remember to turn my Grand Warden onto ground mode. Why don't I do that now? And we can hopefully find a pretty much maxed base to teach you this. I said to myself I was going to keep searching until I found a maxed base, but to be honest, I think this was the 4th or the 5th search. You could probably double check from the amount of gold I have. However, what you do with the strategy is get your heroes in towards the town hall. You're trying to take out all of the splash using the royal ghosts, and you do that via setting the funnel on either side. So let's attack probably, I want to say, from the left and the right, and then send the heroes in from down the bottom. Now, you can send the royal ghosts in relatively quickly on the outside because they will move into the second line of defenses and take those out relatively easily. Now, I did hit a couple of traps on the outside. Royal ghosts, as we have mentioned, being susceptible to traps, you see how quickly they go down, but I'm able to snipe off this area relatively quickly, and I might actually be able to go in for the Archer Queen here. Do we do that? We've got 23 left, and the good thing about this strategy is you can take your time. So let's get the mortar, and then there are no clan castle troops. None of them have came out, so that's not ideal in terms of teaching you this. But let's see if we can attract fire from the Archer Queen, have a royal ghost go to that. Typical, we hit a spring trap. Okay, that one should get the Archer Queen. Let's move to the other side of the base, and we need to be a little bit quicker now in terms of getting the funnel set up for our troops. But let's go with the log launcher, the ice golem, king, queen. We can actually use a wall breaker or two here. Log launcher, Grand Warden on ground, and the Royal Champion. Now let's keep a look at the back end of the base. I think we should easily be able to get towards that wizard tower and take that down. Means it's much easier in terms of the splash and the bats moving through. I like to use one rage towards the center of the base. We can use the headhunters here, even though I don't think it's needed at this stage. King ability, Queen ability, RC ability, Grand Warden ability, and that should help us get all of the way through. Let's send a Royal Ghost to each of the Wizard Towers on the outside. And now let's start the bat deployment. I think on this left-hand side, actually. Let's just go direct in towards the air defense. And I don't think we need a freeze spell at all here. So the freeze is used for the splash, but we were able to mitigate all of that with the Royal Ghost. We can use the freeze onto these buildings, I guess, get another couple of royal ghosts in, and honestly, that is how easy this strategy is. First go, royal ghosts tearing apart the base. I love the fact that you can be quite surgical with the strategy initially in order to snipe off the splash defenses, but you don't have to worry as much about time. 3 stars it is. You can always adapt the strategy based on your town hall level, but if you want to see footage of every limited edition troop we have ever had in the game, I have it linked on your screen. You can reminisce with that video. I really enjoyed making it. Subscribe button also there. You guys take care, and I will see you in the next video.